Be a cracker. This should be a really good one, and we are live. Hey guys, how you going? So down Breakout Sport. We are live for an international friendly prior to the FIFA World Cup starting up on Friday, Thursday for you guys over there in America, Mexico, and Canada, but on Friday for us here over in the Australian way. But today we've got Peru taking on Spain in a big game here for Spain because they haven't exactly been spectacular recently. They haven't exactly been at their very best by any stretch of the imagination. They're coming off a draw 1-1 with Iraq. They're coming off a 0-0 draw against Egypt, and Egypt had a red card in that game. It was in the 84th minute, but Spain couldn't find a way to break them down. They actually had 22 shots to 5 on target, whilst Egypt had 4 shots to 1 on target. Spain dominated the possession, and it's just really, really surprising to see that Spain weren't able to get over the line there against Egypt. Whilst, again, you look at that Iraq game, which I feel like definitely should have been a win for Spain. They had 14 shots to 4 on target compared to 2 shots and 1 on target. And that 1 on target for Iraq ended up being a goal, and it drew 1-1. So the Spanish aren't coming into this in the most unbelievable of form, but they have a spectacular team. They really do. They have a really, really good team that you would fully expect have a great chance to win this World Cup. I think they may even be favourites. France may be favourites, but Spain will either be 1 or 2 there when it comes to the betting odds and whatnot. And it's correct. Like, realistically, they should just simply be having a brilliant tournament. The last 2 games in these last 2 friendlies have not been spectacular. Obviously, when they played Serbia, they did beat them 3-0, 3-0. And in the World Cup qualifiers, well, they ended with a 2-2. They've actually been having quite a lot of draws here lately, Spain. They beat Georgia 4-0. They beat Bulgaria 4-0. They beat Georgia 2-0 as well. Turkey 6-0. Bulgaria 3-0. They did lose the nations final to Portugal on penalties when it was a 2-2 draw. But it does seem outside of, they beat France 5-4 in the Nations League semi-final back last year. But it does seem that Spain, when it actually comes to the big games, they are turning up, like the qualifiers. They were getting significant wins every single time. Yeah, a couple of 2-2s, but when it comes to these friendlies, it just doesn't seem like they've been anywhere near fully at it in comparison. Now, in regards to their team lineup today, they've got Unai Simon in goal, with the back four being Marcos Llorente, Aymeric Laporte, Pau Kubasi, and Marco Correa, with the midfield being Ferran Torres, Fabian Ruiz, Alex Baena, Rodri, get around my man Rodri, and Pedri, with the striker being Mikel Oyarzabal. Now, the substitutions today, David Raya, who you would expect would be the goalkeeper for the actual tournament that starts up on Friday, but Joan Garcia, Marc Pubil, Alex Grimaldo, Eric Garcia, Pedro Porro, Mikel Marino, Gavi, Dani Olmo, Jeremy Pino, Martin Zubimendi, and Borja Iglesias. So that is the Spanish team. And like I said, they do need to really turn up here today and finish off their pre-World Cup with some good form. They do want to come in with some confidence, because I'm telling you that going into the World Cup with a draw against 1-1 against Iraq and nil against Egypt isn't unbelievable. And you do want to really start building that confidence right now. The Spanish group in this World Cup is actually Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and also Cabo Verde. So they should absolutely be breezing through that group realistically. They should be absolutely breezing through it. So they just need to, and I guess that's why the friendlies haven't been too high of an emphasis as well, because they really should be coming through in that group first. They should be slapping through Cabo Verde. They should be really punching through Saudi Arabia, and they really should be beating Uruguay as well. So I'm really confident in Spain this tournament. It's just those last couple of friendlies that haven't been great. So now is when you get that confidence back into you by really putting away Peru, who aren't in this World Cup. They unfortunately did not qualify. I believe they came 9th in their qualification processes. Like, you go back to, where is it, the World Cup qualifiers here. Ooh, it doesn't have it on the screen, so we've got plenty of friendlies though. So let's look at their friendlies. They played Haiti the other day and did beat them 2-1. They played Honduras and had a 2-2 draw. Lost to Senegal 2-0. Beat Bolivia 2-0. Lost to Chile 2-1. Drew 1-1 with Russia. Lost to 2-1 to Chile. Also lost 1-0 to Paraguay. Uruguay 3-0, and Peru, Ecuador was 0-0. This was within the last year of games. They drew 0-0 with Colombia, which is pretty impressive, to be fair. Did lose 1-0 to Argentina and 4-0 to Brazil. So look, this Peru team, unfortunately, they're not where they used to be. They're not at the elite level that we have expected out of Peru over these last ever, really. They're a really, really impressive team, and they've done some really good things in South America and getting to World Cups. But unfortunately, it just isn't the same as it has been in the past. And these friendlies haven't exactly been unbelievable, and they're coming up against the Spain team today that really does need to get a bit of a move on. We go to the Peruvian team. Pedro Galese is the goalkeeper, with the backline being Fabio Gruber, Marcos Lopez, Renzo Garces, and Oliver Sonne. Unfortunately, guys, I do my best in regards to pronunciations, but I'm not the best at it. So if I do get a player's name completely butchered, please let me know in the chat. I'm always looking to improve my pronunciations. We go to the midfield. You've got Adrian Ugareza, Jairo Velez, Yoshima Yotun, Jesus Portel, and Eric Noriega, with the striker being Johnny Vidales. And then you go to the substitutions: Alejandro Duarte, Matias Kurova, Marco Huaman, Matias Lazo, Matias Zagara, Adrian Quiroz, Jairo Concha, Andre Carrillo, Rodrigo Vilca, Kenji Cabrera, Max Lauren Castro, and Basco Soya. And that is the Peruvian team here today. And like I said, they have not been playing too well when it comes to these pre-World Cup friendlies. And again, unfortunately, they're not here at the World Cup. This is just they're at least here having a bit of a crack against Spain, but they're not going to be actually performing at the World Cup, even in this extended competition. So I am going to predict Spain win this game, and I'm going to predict a 3-0. I'm going to say that Spain get on target, they get on point, and they really find a way to start getting a move on. I think that Oyarzabal could be an absolutely spectacular player this year. I think he could be really, really good for the Spanish in their way forward. I just think that this isn't the complete first string Spanish team, but Real Sociedad, he was spectacular this year for them. It was really, really good. So, look, I'm looking forward to him getting it on the score sheet here today. And again, Peru aren't here at the World Cup, so they should be winning this game by a confident margin. But there is 7 minutes to go until the game does start here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. We're going to be live every day for the FIFA World Cup. Tomorrow, we've got Argentina versus Iceland. I am thinking about doing some more international friendlies, even if they're not at this World Cup. Like, I do really want to start doing a lot more football content alongside the rugby league that we do. I am really interested and intrigued in doing more. So there are plenty of games on that aren't just this FIFA World Cup. As you can see over here, today, Mauritania and Niger, they already played. Vanuatu, Fiji, Botswana, Niger, Rwanda, Tanzania. They're all happening. It's just that they're not going to be playing at the World Cup. Earlier this morning, we had Netherlands beating Uzbekistan 2-1 and France beating Northern Ireland 3-1. So this is the last main game here of today. And then also on Thursday, we'll be live for England versus Costa Rica. But as I say that, those 2 games are guarantees. But I may start considering, if you guys do enjoy this football content, I may start considering doing more football games in general. Also, if you are playing the FIFA World Cup Fantasy, we do have a league. So I'd love to see what you guys are doing there, who you're thinking about selecting in the chat. But also the pinned comment in the chat is there for you to go enjoy the league. And if you aren't a massive football fan, you want to get into the football with the FIFA World Cup, and you want to start to understand a lot more players, I promise you, the fantasy is always the best way, whether it be for rugby league or whether it be for NFL, NBA, Premier League. If you want to genuinely get into a sport and start appreciating what that sport has to offer, you do need to really give the fantasy a go, because it gives you players to select. You're going to be ultimately watching those players. Firstly, you'll learn about those players, but you'll be watching them, which means you have to watch a specific game, and then you will start to get a better understanding of it, and it will make you passionate behind your player, and you'll find that love for the game, in my opinion. So I truly do advise that if you ever aren't a massive fan of a specific sport, get into it through fantasy. It is just a fantastic way to do it. But they are walking out into the field now. Obviously, we'll have the national anthems coming up. Now, this game is at the Estadio Cuauhtémoc in Puebla. Estadio Cuauhtémoc. That is absolutely not how you pronounce that. How do you pronounce? I'm going to get this here. Okay, to pronounce that, Estadio Cuauhtémoc. Estadio Cuauhtémoc. Estadio Cuauhtémoc. Okay, well, that was off Google, so hopefully that was correct. But all right, guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe when you're around here, and let's get a good game going. Jeremy says, howdy Blaze, mate. Still glowing for that Titans win. Nick's playing Spurs right now. Yeah, Nick's playing Spurs, but we've got some big football action coming up. We've got some massive, massive football action, and it's just really, really rocking. It's really, really rocking, and I'm excited. I love the FIFA World Cup. It's just always so passionate, so exciting, and even in games that you don't care about. Like, for example, let's go to the... I'll give you a great example of a game that not many people will care about, but they'll still absolutely love. Qatar, Switzerland is a fantastic example. Haiti, Scotland. You've got games like even Germany, Curaçao, which I've got 3 players in my fantasy team in the Germany game. In the Germany team, I've got 3 of them. I've got Raum. I've also got Kai Havertz and Manuel Neuer. That's who they really should be coming through that pretty convincingly. What's a perfect game of one that people just won't really care about? Ghana, Panama is a great shout for that, to be fair. But the thing is that people will still watch it and people will still love it because that's what the World Cup is, man. That's what the World Cup is. I don't know what it is as well about Haiti, but I'm just getting a bit of a vibe that they're going to prove to be a pretty tricky team here. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because they beat New Zealand 4-0, but also New Zealand aren't a great team. But I'm just getting a bit of a vibe about the old Haitians. They play Scotland, they play Morocco, and they play Brazil. I think that Morocco in that group actually has a great chance of beating Brazil, mind you. I really do. But Haiti against... and Morocco really should be going and Brazil should be going. But I don't know what it is. I just feel like they're going to be tough and they might come up with a surprise, like when we saw Saudi Arabia beat Argentina a couple of years ago. I don't know. I'm just feeling it. They pushed Peru to the edge. They obviously smashed New Zealand 4-0. They drew 1-1 with Iceland, lost 1-0 to Tunisia. Beat Costa Rica. They also beat Nicaragua, which aren't exactly spectacular teams. They pushed USA 2-1. I don't know. I'm just getting a bit of a weird thing that maybe they get 3rd place in the group and maybe sneak through. I don't know. See me. I don't know. Hey. GTR says, hey, us Kiwis are just happy to be here. No, I love it. No, of course, I'm going to back you in. I'm going to be live for every single one of your games, but they did beat you 4-0. They did beat you 4-0. Ad says, come on, Spain, let's win at football. Oh, Adam. I love you, but I hate you. I love you, but I hate you. For context of people, Adam does not watch football. He does love Australia. He's very passionate about Queensland. He loves Australia. And I'm sure that when Australia's playing, he'll be the biggest Socceroos fan that you ever did see. But Adam will message me. He knows Man City. He knows how much I dislike, say, certain teams in the competition. Whenever they win, he will message me saying, oh my gosh, I've never been a bigger Man United fan in my life. I'm just so happy for the boys and all that kind of shit. And he'll also message me when Arsenal go and win a game and be like, oh my gosh, it's so good to see that Arsenal, we're finally, being successful and whatnot. He doesn't watch a game. He doesn't know anything what he's talking about. But he'll do that just to grind me. And now he's here on my FIFA World Cup streams. And the first thing he says is, come on, Spain, let's win at football. Adam, I encourage you to, without Google, tell me one player from, and I've named them today. I've named their team. Adam, I want to hear you say one player without Google that currently plays for Spain. And if you say David Silva, I'll forgive you. David Silva's the only one I'll accept. He's not playing here today. He hasn't played for a few years now. But if you say David Silva, I'm okay. Outside of that, I don't think you can. Chuck Manhood says, hi, this just popped up on my laptop. Will you be streaming World Cup matches? Yes. If so, I will pop in. Italy, my team did not qualify. 3rd World Cup in a row. Spain are the best team currently. Well, Chuck, I think it is karma for 2006 with Italy versus Australia. I think that it is karma. But at the end of the day, you still won that World Cup. But it is karma for 2006 and diving in the box there. Yes. No, Australia, we would have won that World Cup. And we would never have lost a World Cup since if we had gone and win that World Cup. So you guys rorted us. But no, in all honesty, it's actually quite sad to not see Italy in the World Cups because they are a very passionate footballing nation, but they're just in such a bad place right now as an organization, as a nation in football, and they're such a gigantic nation in football. I just don't understand why they consistently can't get there anymore. So yeah, and we expanded the tournament to effectively get them in, and they still didn't make it. They're in a very, very difficult continent for qualification, but still we're seeing, with all due respect to Norway, we're seeing Norway get in, who have not been, they've never made, I don't think they've made a World Cup, or the last time they made a World Cup was like maybe 1998 or so. I feel like Italy should be getting in over the likes of Czechia. Bosnia and Herzegovina is actually pretty good. I don't mind them, especially the days of Edin Dzeko back in the day. I feel like you'd be expecting to be above teams like Scotland in Europe, and Who's another really kind of perfect team to utilise here? Anyway, long story short, like even teams like Curaçao and Cabo Verde and whatnot, they're not in Europe, but the point of the matter is that you'd expect to be there. Tatted says hello, get ready tatted. But yeah, no, I'll be here for pretty much not every World Cup game, but every finals game, and also as much of the group stages as I possibly can. Yeah. Azzy says, can't wait to see Lucas O'Neill to find the back of the net. Let's go Socceroos. Andre Iniesta. Yeah, fantastic, Adam. Fantastic. Yeah, Andre Iniesta is the best player currently playing for Spain. I'll give you a hint. You say Rodri, mate. That's what you do. What you do is you say Rodri. Rodri is your man. Get a jersey. Get his jersey right now, Adam. Ballon d'Or winner Rodri. Come on. Let's be serious now. Chuck says, Kiwis did okay against England on Saturday. Watch that. As always, England are overhyped. Yeah, well, the Arsenal players aren't playing at the moment as well because they've still been given a rest from that Champions League final loss to the Paris Saint-Germain. However, yeah, England always do, they always do come into the tournament with high expectations based off of the media, and then obviously we see it just does not work out. But I am a true believer in that the English media intentionally and deliberately overhype and overrate the team pre-tournament, because they know that when they lose, they're going to slaughter them. The English public are going to be behind it, and they're going to get so many clicks based off of the overhyped. They failed at the expectations that they had, and then that is prime time for English media to swoop in. Azzy D says, got to get back to work. I'll be back when you least expect it. Enjoy the football, my friend. Yeah, no, you are here when I least expect it. I definitely wouldn't have been expecting you to be here for the Titans-Broncos stream on Saturday. Didn't see you then. That would have been a good time to pop in, Adam. That would have been a fantastic time to pop in. But I appreciate you, man. Chuck says, Bosnia beat Italy in the playoff on penalties to make the World Cup, and Zeko was playing. Yeah, Zeko, unbelievable. Edin Zeko, the days of Edin Zeko, unbelievable. He is just absolutely spectacular. Worst Italy season ever, internationally and domestically. I think they played last night, didn't they? I think Italy were in that. I think they played last night. Or it might have been the night before. But the game has kicked off here, guys, between Peru and Spain. It will be the Spanish with the ball inside their own half. No, they didn't. It wasn't Moldova. It was against Greece. They won 1-0. They had a red card in the 68th minute. Pio Esposito scored in the 18th. What was their lineup in this game? So they had Donnarumma, Pietro Comozzo, Davide Batasaghi, Honest Ahano, Fabio Chiarora, Luca Lepani, Nicolo Pisilli, Shea Ndor, Pio Esposito, Luca Colioscio, and Jeff Ecuador. Damn, I don't really know a great deal of this Italian team, man. Obviously, we know Donnarumma. I don't know a spectacular amount of this Italian team. That is a concern. But Spain, I'm expecting them to fully put the pressure on throughout this entirety of this game. I think they really should be winning this game by quite a significant amount. They really should be. I'm just going to fix this a little bit here. Bing bong, there we go. Sorry, internet's playing up. Missed that last bit. No, I know you heard it. Tattooed on your forehead, sir. Tatted says, I'll be that Englishman abusing them for losing. What is your actual expectations, Tatted? What is your actual expectations for England in this tournament? 1 minute gone here. Who's your group again? We will be live for England on Thursday between England and Costa Rica. You have Croatia, you have Ghana, and you have Panama. Croatia is not going to be easy, but Ghana and Panama, you should be coming through. Could you imagine if they didn't make it past the group stage? It would just be mental. Here we go. Spain have a good opportunity here. Here's a chance. They've already scored. It's 1-0. It's already scored. From outside of the box, they've already scored. Mikel Oyarzabal, remember how I said that he should be absolutely firing up in today's game? Well, he is. That's 1-0 to Spain in the first 2 minutes of this one. Mikel Oyarzabal will score, and it is 1-0 España. Anything less than semi-finals is unacceptable. Yeah, look, valid. I hear it. Especially considering what? You've made the last 2 semi-finals in a row? You're there in Russia and also there in Qatar, no? This is a cracker shot. That is a cracker of a goal from just outside the box and into the right bottom-hand corner of the goal. It is 1-0 to Spain. And this is pretty much what you should just be expecting throughout this game because, like I said, I just feel with the 1-1 draw against Iraq and the 0-0 draw with Egypt, you need to see Spain get into form here, score some goals, and really put a team to the sword, which is what, they might score again here. They might score again. No, it's going to come to the keeper for Peru. They need to start putting their form together. Chuck says, Spain are winning the World Cup. Oyarzabal scored in the final against England 2 years ago. Spain are a great chance to win this World Cup, but I'm telling you, France will still be up there. Elise is going to be spectacular for France. You know, they do have Mbappe. They have a great team overall. You know, France will be dangerous again. They will be really dangerous. Seven says, okay, I'm glad we can talk about football now. Yeah, you can talk about football now. Not really talk much on the rugby league streams. Luis de la Fuente is the head coach, the manager here for the Spanish. He'll be very happy with this start. 3.5 minutes in. Let me just make sure that everything's on the screen. Okay, yeah, sweet. You can see everything there on the screen. There we go. Move that bad boy across. Socceroos play on Saturday against Turkey. That is the hardest game to start off with out of our group. I'm getting a good feeling we can beat Paraguay. I feel like that USA game might actually be a draw. Seven says, do you take anything from France's loss to Ivory Coast? No, I don't. It's friendlies. I really don't think too heavily into friendlies. It's the equivalent of looking at a preseason of a tournament in sport and domestic leagues and whatnot. Friendlies are, you still want to win them, and you still want to get the result, but it's not the end of the world if you don't, especially when you are preparing here for in France's belief, their third World Cup final in a row. They lost to Argentina in 2022, and in 2018, they obviously went and won the World Cup final. But they are preparing for their third big-time tournament in a row, and they've got the team to do it. Who do I have from the French team? I don't actually think I have too many from the French team. I've got Elise in my team, in my fantasy team. Again, guys, if you are playing World Cup Fantasy, jump into that pinned comment and join up. But I got Michael Elise. I've activated my 12th man bonus, my booster, and put Erling Haaland in against Iraq. My front three are Harry Kane, Jimenez from Mexico against South Africa. I think that Jimenez is going to have a big tournament. And I just couldn't go away from having a Germany striker in that game against... who is it that they played in the first game? Curaçao? Yeah, they played Curaçao in the first game. And that's going to be a corner for Spain. Spain get a corner 5 minutes in. I just could not avoid having a German striker and a German attacker in a group that has Curaçao, the Ivory Coast, and Ecuador. You can't avoid it. You just can't avoid it. And it's funny because I've got Vinicius Jr. and Gabriel Magalhaes from Brazil, but I'm not even playing them in the first game week because they play Morocco, who I think that Morocco could win. But then after that, I think Brazil could just go absolutely bonkers in their next two games of the group. So Spain, they pass this ball around the back after that corner. Have you noticed, though, in the last couple of years, besides maybe teams like Arsenal, corners aren't what they used to be. Teams don't typically just boot the ball into the box anymore. They don't whip it into the box. They would typically pass it short and then play around and try to find the gap in between the defense manually rather than going, over the top and looking for the big time header. It's interesting the way that football has changed in that capacity, and Arsenal are sticking by their guns with the likes of Gabriel. Here we go, Spain inside the box. Oh yes, Oyarzabal, he's already looking dominant. Maybe I should get Oyarzabal, but that would mean that I'd have to get rid of Jimenez, and I think that Jimenez against South Africa in that first game is big points potential, big goals potential. All right, so Spain, they put this ball into the corner, and it's going to be a goal kick for Peru. Chucks, if Musiala is fit, I expect him to be spectacular for Germany. I think Germany should be really good, but they haven't been great in this pre-tournament. They haven't been unreal. Seven says, lots of people are doubting Socceroos, saying they'll finish last and third at best. They said the same thing last World Cup when we beat Denmark and Tunisia. Happens every World Cup, man. Australia is not a big footballing nation, so people can find it very easy to doubt us and very easy to throw the shade at Australia because we're in a weak qualification group, a weak qualification continent, because the Europeans and the South Americans, they don't respect the qualification of Asia. But it's like, in regards to America, because there's so many people there, it prevents people from disrespecting them as much as they probably could be. The qualification for the Americans is nowhere near. I would say quality-wise, Asia is definitely more quality in that capacity than what we see from the North America side of things. But that's just my personal opinion, because people they forget Japan is a very good team. You know who? And we spoke about this yesterday on the World Cup game between who was it? It was Colombia and Jordan. We spoke about this yesterday. Japan are a very, very sneaky team here. Japan are a sneaky team that really could do something big in this World Cup. 8.5 minutes gone here. Peru going to push this ball up forward, and that's going to be a free. No, it's going to be offside. That will be offside here against the Peru. That will be offside. Hold on. I'm sorry. I just got to fix my stream. There we go. Peru, 23% ball possession. Spain, 77%. Drazis, do you think there is a mini agenda on Australia as a country from the United States? No, I just think it's very easy to doubt us. It's what's happened in every World Cup. We're always put on the back burner because we're not a big footballing nation. But the only teams we lost to in the last World Cup were France and Argentina, and those were the two teams in the final. And we pushed Argentina all the way into, added time. And we nearly scored in added time to send it to extra time in that round of 16 game. Spain pushed this ball out of the corner. And are they going to whip this bad boy in? No, they're going to put it back. Jeez, I tell you what, Spain are pressing real hard up the pitch. Like, they've got everybody really, really high up. This is pretty much what you're going to be seeing all day today, because Peru will not be hitting on the attack. They'll be hitting on the counter. Pedri to Ferran Torres over the top. Beautiful ball, beautiful ball, beautiful ball. Oh, no, he's offside. He's offside, so it'll be Peru with the ball. So, yeah, I think that people are obviously going to disrespect Australia, and I can fully... I am aware of it, I do get it, but I feel like it's just because we're the easy punching bag. I think Japan beat Netherlands and finished first. I don't know, I think Netherlands might still do it, but Japan have had some really, really good form. Besides losing to Australia and drawing with Australia, Japan have a really good team. I actually have one of their midfielders in my fantasy team, which is Junya Ito. I think he is a very good selection for $5 million on the FIFA Fantasy World Cup. I've gone Junta Ito. He's on my bench, but that's because my midfield is full of Elise, Bruno Fernandes, and Arias. And the reason why I went Arias is because I was really impressed by him yesterday for Colombia. I was really impressed by him. He scored a couple. He scored a brace in that game for Colombia yesterday against the Jordanians. And I didn't think Jordan's defense was that bad. So with Colombia, their group is Portugal, Uzbekistan, and DR Congo. He definitely could kill it against the Congo. I would not be surprised if Colombia pushed Portugal, and Uzbekistan, I do have a bit of as a snaky, but I did love Arias in that game. And again, he scored a double. John Arias. I think he plays for Palmeiras. So 11 minutes gone here in the first half. Guys, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. And we gifted Argentina a goal, to be honest. Should have been 1-1. Yes, we did. Both the first goal that Argentina scored was off of a bad play at the back from Australia. And as his Bayic nearly scored the bloody damn well goal of the tournament. It was so close. We really pushed him. We gave it a great go at it. Who did Argentina play right after that? I don't think it was a really difficult matchup right after that, wasn't it? Because I think the Netherlands was... Oh, Spain boot this ball over the sidelines. It's going to be Peru throw-in at the halfway line. I don't think that it was an incredible difficult matchup for Argentina in the round of I don't think after the round of 16, I don't think they had a difficult. It was Netherlands after that. Oh, I thought it was the semi-final that they had the Netherlands. How much World Cup are you planning to stream pending on NRL games? No FIFA World Cup impacts the NRL. The NRL is on after every game. So I can do as many as I feel necessary and as many as I want, really. The writer says, Mbappe hat-trick in a losing cause would hurt. Could have been back-to-back World Cups for him and a hat-trick in one of them. And no, he was incredible. But little Messi and Argentina, they just wanted it more. You know, people will talk about the penalties and people talk about how FIFA wanted them to win. If you look at it, they're all stonewall penalties that Argentina received. And even if you take the penalties away, they actually still won all those games. They still won them all. I know on Sunday, Australia, Turkey, 2 p.m. and right after Titans, Tigers, 4:05. Yeah, correct. So it doesn't impact the NRL game at all. Cucurella is pushed right up here in that far top left, but that will be Peru kicking that ball over the sideline. Cucurella. He's a character for sure. I love how he tried to create a rivalry with Haaland, but Haaland just absolutely whomps him every time. Haaland just absolutely slaughters him every time for City. It's hilarious. Opportunity for Spain. No, Peru will get this ball away. Go on to the great days of Peru, eh? Peru really... Actually, Peru was who Australia beat to get into the last World Cup, wasn't it? Was that our final qualification game in the knockout? In 2022? I think it was, wasn't it? Kirani Minty. Someone says, hopefully one of those games your team wins. We're both winning. We'll win both games. Turkey is a very difficult matchup, though. And that will go over the sideline for a Spanish throw-in. Yeah, on penalties. Yeah, it was Peru, because I'm pretty certain the 3 teams we've played in qualifiers to make it through. I actually don't know if... I can't remember the last time we've ever lost a do-or-die qualifier. Like a last-chance qualifier, because we beat Costa Rica, I think 3-0. I think Mile Jedinak scored a couple of goals in that game. We beat Peru on penalties, because we were live streaming here on the channel. I think we had like 2,000 people watching live at one stage when the penalties were on, and it was... When we won, people were like so over the moon happy for me, because I started to tear up and cry. There was just everyone was donating. It was crazy. It was so overwhelming, man, for Australia to get through on penalties and be so happy for my team, and then everyone just started donating because they were so happy for Australia and for me and whatnot. And I feel like a lot of people would have been winning money on the game too, because you find with football streams and whatnot, you do get a lot of the gamblers coming through, which is completely fine, but it's not fine if their bettors losing. And they'll start calling mafia. So if you guys remember, we actually used to do A-League streams here on the channel, and A-League is the worst for it, man. It was painful. Spain with the ball in the attacking half here. They're going to get some space out in this right wing. They whip the ball into the box. Oh, awful shot. Still a chance here, though. And it comes out to Cucurella. And that was not good. So that'll be Peru throwing from in their back line. But we used to do A-League streams, and every single time there'd be a low-scoring grind or a favourite was losing, we would get spammed with comments saying, "Oh, the referees, it's mafia, and they're rigging the game," and it would just be like well over the top, not like jokey. It was serious. That's what I find with football a lot of the time. UAE and Peru. I don't think we qualified against UAE one time, did we? I don't think we had to play UAE in a do or die. I remember Costa Rica. Honduras might have been the 3-0, actually. Or was it Honduras or was it Costa Rica? I think it might have been Costa Rica. We beat Honduras at one time too. And then, yeah, you've got that Peru game. And then you go all the way back to Uruguay in 2006. Mr. Plummer says, I'm still in shock after the pen of the first Tigers game. Just give the premiership Penrith and call it the year for the NRL. Pretty much, man. Pretty much. That was a complete air kick there from Spain. Air ball, and then Pedri completely missed it as well. Cucurella with the throw-in. And Rodri will just whack this ball back here to the keeper. So again, this is not just a full-strength Spanish team here today, but it's still a very strong Spanish team that should be coming through quite easily, which is why they went up 1-0 so quickly. And that will be a free kick here to the Peruvians. Peru have a very, very passionate history with football, man. It's just disappointing they're not here. It's just disappointing they're not at this World Cup. Peru World Cup qualifiers. Because I think they came 9th, man. I think they came 9th. Peru failed to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. They finished in 9th place in the CONMEBOL qualifier standings with 12 points. 2 wins, 6 draws, and 10 losses, finishing only ahead of Chile. Chile has a very rich footballing history too. Top 6 teams are Argentina, Brazil, Ecuador, Colombia, Uruguay, and Paraguay. They'd be feeling really disappointed to finish behind Paraguay and Colombia. Not Colombia, Paraguay and Ecuador. Even though they're tough teams. Paraguay is not spectacular. Ecuador can be spicy, though. All right, so it's going to be Peru. Put that ball in the box. This is probably the best spell of the night, though, for them. And Spain are just going to regain the possession pretty immediately. I'm probably going to stream a lot of Japanese games, too. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Japan can provide. I'm really looking forward to it. I think Japan can be something in this World Cup, man. Hugo says, outside of Australia, who do you support? Well, I wouldn't say that I support anyone, man. I am Australia. I am from Australia. I grew up in Australia. My family, Australia. I am Australian, right? So I will always just be Australia regardless. And I don't agree with people who support nations when their team's in the World Cup, but I agree with having a soft spot team. Spain. Oyarzabal puts the ball over the top of the bar. That was a great chance in the middle of the box, but he just couldn't bring the volley and put it on target. So that'll be a goal kick here to Peru. If I was to talk to you about a soft spot, I don't know what it is, but I just have a soft spot for Germany. I just do. Maybe just because I've respected their football for many, many a year now. I do love a bit of Germany. But also, you've just got to remember that I'll support teams that have like the players from my team, Man City, like from City. You got guys like your Rodri. I do have major respect for Americo Laporte, who is in this Spanish team as well. He's not at City at the moment, but he has been for us. And there are so many players across the world. There's 19 players from different teams, like your England, like your even guys like Gundogan with Germany, and who else? Argentina's had some fantastic ones over the years in Pablo Zabaleta, Sergio Aguero, Demichelis back in the day. Demichelis. Who's another one? Willy Caballero, Carlos Tevez. Brazil, we had Gabriel Jesus, not Gabriel Magalhaes, who is very prominent now. And it usually comes down to that, man. So I will typically just kind of really heavily follow the players from the team. I was supporting Australia and Argentina last World Cup, or for Messi as a Barcelona fan. That makes sense. So 20 minutes gone in the first half here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here. Tonight, is there a big game tonight outside of when we wake up to do that Argentina and Iceland game? Don't know if there is. I might do Congo versus Chile. I may. It's at 10 o'clock my time tonight, which will be 1 a.m. for you guys in Australia. I might do Congo Chile because I want to see what Congo's like. I've never watched a Congo. I've never watched a Congolese football game ever, so I have no idea what to expect. I'm going to do it. I'm going to stream Congo DR versus Chile tonight. I'm going to see how they play. And that's really about it for today. Well, there's plenty of other footballing matches on, but it's really about it for today overall. Hungary, Kazakhstan not there. Saudi Arabia, Senegal at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Maybe. Iraq and Venezuela. It's not the same time as Argentina and Iceland. I will be doing Argentina tomorrow. So I'm sure you'll be here tomorrow then, Serpent, because we'll be live for Argentina. But if you're just tuning in 22 minutes in, it is 1-0 to España. Even Algeria have 8-0. Yeah, there's Man City players everywhere, man. Everywhere. Marmouche for Egypt. Marmouche is not a bad shout to actually get into your FIFA Fantasy World Cup team as well, because Marmouche has been crushing it for him, and we'll have a bit of Mo Salah there as well alongside him. He's been injured. He was injured for quite a lot of this season, but Marmoush is a great chance for you. I think he's only like 5 mil on fantasy. So there is a hydration break, a cooling break, as you guys know here. Let's go have a look. Let's go and have a look at... this is in Puerto. Where is it? Or Puerto? Where is this stadium? Hold on. In Mexico. It is in... Where is it? Puebla weather right now. So this makes a lot more sense for a hydration break. So the games in Mexico... Oh, it must be... It is Puerto. No, not Puerto Rico. No, that's telling me that's a Puerto Vallarta, Jalisco, Mexico. So it's 29 degrees. This makes a lot more sense for a hydration break than the 19 and 20 degree weather that we saw the last couple of days. What do you think about Africa would have won a World Cup if French players? Let's settle down. Let's settle down on those kind of conversations. But a cooling break here. I think Spain have just been fine. They've not been, really just... They've had some big opportunities through Oyabazal, but they haven't really been able to really break through besides that first goal. Ansi says, just join the fantasy league. I think I know maybe one player on my team. But that's the perfect thing, Ansi. That's perfect. Because by you going and looking at all the players from all the teams, you do a bit of research, you will start to understand more. And that's why I say fantasy is what gets you into the sport. It is the doorway to actually understanding and appreciating the sport, because it forces you to... So, for example, in my FIFA fantasy team, I've got 3 Germans, I've got 2 Mexicans, I've got a Moroccan, Portugal, French, England, Colombian, 2 Colombians actually, 2 Brazilians, a Spanish, and Japanese. So I'm going to be intently watching those games, and we're going to be streaming regardless, but it gives me a reason to care about those games. Like, for example, Japan play the Netherlands. That could be a pretty good game, to be fair. But Japan play the Netherlands. That really, for an Australian, why would we really care about it? It's not our group. I know Japan's in our qualification of Asia and whatnot, and they're actually probably our biggest rivals. Actually, I wonder if Japan would consider Australia their biggest rivals. Who would Japan consider their biggest rivals in football? I don't think it's South Korea. It could be South Korea, though. Who would be Japan's biggest rival in international football? Okay, so it is South Korea. Yeah, and then it would be Australia. Yeah, South Korea, widely considered the primary rivalry. These 2 nations represented Asia's most successful football programs. Stepping back to Japan's occupation of Korea, matches between the Samurai Blue and the Taejuk Warriors are famously intense, with no love lost on or off the pitch. Historically, South Korea leads the all-time series, but recent meetings have been highly competitive, fighting for dominance in the Asian Football Confederation. And then it's Australia, a more recent but equally intense on-pitch rivalry developed after the Socceroos joined the AFC in 2006. Yeah, so I would make an argument that it's Australia versus Japan based off of the last 20 years, but that's because we only joined the AFC. We only joined Asia in 2006. We were originally in Oceania. Chance for Spain. We're back underway. Chance here for Zabal. Oh, can you get the ball back? No, good defense there from the Peruvians. They can hit on the counter here. You can hit on the counter. Push it up. You got the speed. Push it up. Oh, very good defense, Spain. Lorente, very good. Very good there to get back and prevent that one from getting away in Marcos Lorente. Brett Neslick says, Dylan, mate, who you got winning this one? Spain. Peru aren't at this World Cup, and Spain have been a little bit wonky lately with a 1-1 draw against Iraq and a 0-0 draw with Egypt, and Egypt's had a red card in that game. So not been great, but Spain could win the World Cup. So this definitely should be them. And Mikel Oyarzabal has been really good for the Real Sociedad this year. He's scored a goal already in this game, and ends here for a person who may not know a great deal about football. Definitely think about bringing Oyarzabal into... Oh, chance here's the onside. No, he's offside. Offside for the Spanish. Guys, they're very easy to grab that one, and also offside. But I'll give you some advice in regards to your forwards ends here. So you've got Oyarzabal from Spain. If you believe in Germany, you've got a Kai Havertz there. You've got Kylian Mbappe for the French, but I really think Elise is a midfielder in the game and midfielder. For Mexico, you've got Jimenez. For Australia, I was going to go with Irankunda. I was going to do Irankunda, but I've decided against it. I've gone Harry Kane, Jimenez, and Kai Havertz. But Irankunda could be a really underrated selection. The only reason I haven't selected him is because he may be more of like he'll play the first 75 and then come off in the crunch. He's got some speed. If you watch the friendlies and you're watching Australian Socceroos games, you know he's really, really good. You know he's really quality to watch, but the minutes is what might worry me. Mohamed Toure might be a more guaranteed option, but here we go, Spain, chance. Fabian Ruiz inside, and that's going to be cleared away for a corner for the Spanish. That is a corner. Jared says, I really wanted to see Spain today before the 14 kicks off. Hope everyone is doing well today. No, it is great to see the Spanish, but obviously guys like Lamine and Yamal and whatnot aren't here. Mr. Plummet says, what do you think about the Simpson prediction with Portugal versus Mexico in the finals? Mexico could definitely go far. It is going to be so difficult to beat Mexico in Mexico. Where's the final? Is the final in New York? Or is it Azteca? I'm pretty certain it's in New York, isn't it? Corner, that's going to go up. The keeper should get this. And that's going to be a free kick here anyway to the Peruvians. I think the final's in New York, isn't it? Do you watch much football, by the way, Brenton? Or are you rugby league and obviously got into a little bit of the cricket in the Cricket World Cup? Do you watch the football? And yes, I haven't paid much attention to soccer in years. I did this for exactly why you said, get to know the players again. Exactly right. Yeah, he's come down awkwardly here. So it's not a free kick to Peru. It's an injury to Spain. Who is the player down injured right now? Oh, it was Oyazabal. That is a worry. You don't want that. You don't want to see this. It is Oyazabal, their main man in front of goal for this World Cup. You do not want to see that. Yeah, MetLife and New Jersey, the final. Yeah. You do not want to see that for Oyazabal, and he is not walking fantastic at the moment. God bless him. 30 minutes gone here in the game, guys. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. 30 minutes gone. That is one of the worst players that you do not want to see have that. But at least he's back up and running for the time being. So that's going to be a throw-in now for Spain. Footy Dad says, I always like to throw a semi-roughie on for World Cup winner each time. This year I'm doing $10 on Belgium at $41 odds. Thoughts on Belgium's chances? Belgium are the most infuriating team. My answer, unfortunately, for you is no. And the reason being is that Belgium always have a really good team in qualifiers. They always are usually sitting on top of the FIFA World Rankings, number one, and they will just disappoint greatly. Guys like Romelu Lukaku hasn't had a fantastic year for Napoli this year. The Kevin De Bruyne obviously is there. They've had some fantastic teams over the years. They really have, but they just never perform when it comes to the big stage. So I honestly will agree with the person who commented yesterday saying Japan is a great roughie. In regards to going far, they've been spectacular in the international friendlies and whatnot. But I would be very careful with Belgium. Yeah, they always do disappoint. I would love to see them do well. Spain here. Here's a ball into the box. Can they put it in for Ferran Torres? Goal. And that is going to be Pedri with the goal. Pedri with the goal for Spain. It is 2-0. That's a great ball in from Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres whips it in and Pedri just comes rocketing. Bashka. That's a 2-0 ball game for the Spanish 31 minutes into the game. John says, Japan are the outsider I like and England will win it. And I'm saying that as an Irishman. Kane will be top scorer. John, what are we doing? John, come on. An Irishman saying England's going to win it? They're lucky to beat Kiwis yesterday. If you don't know who the Kiwis are, that's New Zealand. I know a lot of people who aren't in this part of the world don't know that the New Zealanders' nickname is the Kiwis. But no, look, I think England do have a good team, but England, the pressure is not something that they love. And the media will always put pressure on them. The fans will always put pressure on them because of the Premier League and the size of the football in the nation and the desperation over the years. whenever the pressure is on England, they just never come through. And that's why if you see England go to a penalty shootout, that is the ultimate pressure cooker moment. And that's why they lost to Italy at home at Wembley in the Euros. If you see them feel the pressure, bet against them. But if they don't feel the pressure and they score early in a game kind of deal and they don't feel like it's a good chance for Peru. He's onside, I think. I think he's onside. Oh, that's going to hit the side netting. Oh my gosh, he was onside too. Oh, into the side netting. That was it. Ugoretsa nearly gets a goal there. It probably would have been onside. It would have been close, but that was definitely the best chance of the game, but it goes to the side netting. Ecuador or a dark horse. Why do you say Ecuador or a dark horse, Barnes? I'm going to disagree with you, but why would you say that Ecuador or a dark horse? I'm eager to hear why. Not in a bad way, just I'm eager to hear why you think that. There is always a real surprise packet, whether it be Ghana over the years, whether it be Greece in the Euros, whether it be Costa Rica over the years. Spain are away again here. Ferran Torres in the box. Oh my gosh, it's just hit past the left-hand side of the goalpost. Ferran Torres is on fire here. Finds Arsenal defense. Well, you're saying Ecuador can win based off of Arsenal defense? What? Mr. Plummer says, I really want Ronaldo to have a shot at the World Cup before he retires. Well, look, Portugal will have a decent team. They will have Ronaldo up top for them. I don't think it happens, but I do have a good feeling there's going to be an agenda to force that that Argentina versus Portugal. I think it's round of 16 they'd play each other. I don't think it's round of 32. I think it's round of 16. It could be round of 32, but I'm pretty certain it's around a 16, and if things go to plan, it will be Portugal versus Argentina, which would be Messi versus Ronaldo in their last World Cups. I do feel like Argentina might get through them, but it'll be interesting. John says they will grind games out. Finally, they have a manager who is using players to their strength. His squad was controversial, but I think it will work for them. Kane and Rice are too good. Yeah, I'm not a Declan Rice hater. I really respect Declan Rice. He is a very, very strong player. I'm a very respectful fan overall. Like I always say, if you're the best team over 38 games, you're the best. If you win the league after 38 games, you are the best team. I'm not one of those guys who will just shit on Arsenal and guys like Declan Rice just for no reason. I will criticise their attack and I will criticise a lot of the players, but that's not for any jealousy reasons, especially when my classmate just is way more successful in recent years anyway. But Declan Rice is a really special player. He does get overhyped, but he is a very special player. But the thing is, it'll happen with everybody. Whoever is a very good player will always get criticised the most because they've got the most eyes on them. Look at Rodri. Rodri is a unbelievable player. You know, Erling Haaland is an unbelievable player, but these guys will get criticised the most because the most eyes are on them. Arsenal fans just don't do their team too much justice. That's a bad pass here from the keeper, but luckily it will still go. What's happening here with this keeper? He's just passing the ball around the back, but really awkwardly. One can see goals. Do you watch Ecuador play, bro? Are you from Ecuador? Are you Ecuadorian? Like they play Ivory Coast, Curaçao, and Germany. So I would expect that they could definitely get through that group, and they should definitely be coming at least third. Curaçao should be fourth. It's between Ivory Coast and Ecuador. Oh, chance here for Peru. Chance here. No, that's going to be grabbed by the keeper. It's a good game between them and Ivory Coast. They should be beating Curaçao. They should not be beating Germany. But then again, Germany have not been great in pre-World Cup. So, look, maybe. But no, I don't think that Ecuador's going to go too far. Harrison says, what sport is this, champ? Well, you're trying to get me to say soccer, but I call it football, mate. I call it football. But I know that you're trying to get me to say soccer, Harrison. But what you doing? What you doing, Harrison? You think you can get one over me? Champ? Champion? Bucko? Pal? Buddy? You think you can get one over me? You wisher. You're the biggest wisher that ever did wisher. You Canberra Raiders flop. Unbelievable. I bet you better put a bet on Peru today, didn't you? I bet you put a bet on Peru today. Congrats on the Titans win. Never a doubt from me. Harrison, in a game like that, man, I was not tolerating you that day. That was our biggest rivals too, the Broncos. But I think you should just focus on your Canberra Raiders, who as soon as you jumped on their team, as soon as you said, you know what, I'm going to support the Raiders, the team that came first last year in the minor premiership, I'm going to support Canberra Raiders. Next minute, they're bottom 4. Next minute, they're 4th last. Johnson, I might fancy England to win it, but I'll support Scotland as Ireland didn't make it. Damn, interesting. It is interesting. You're not usually going to see too many Irishmen getting around the old English. I respect England when it comes to football, and obviously Australians and English have a deep rivalry when it comes to sport, but not necessarily so much when it comes to football. So I really wouldn't mind seeing them go far, but at the end of the day, the memes are so funny if they don't as well. Yeah, Harrison is the biggest voodoo, yeah. I had a Colombian come into my work yesterday, wanted them to win. I know nothing about players and whatnot. Do they have a chance? Well, the Colombians played yesterday. They won 2-0. Arias scored a couple of goals, who I've got in my fantasy team. Arias scored a couple of goals for the Colombians. John Arias. And they are not going to win the tournament. They're still probably going to do quite decently, though. They have Uzbekistan, DR Congo, and Portugal in their group. They should be coming second there. But Uzbekistan are sneaky, and they could surprise. Uzbekistan pushed all the way early on this morning against the Netherlands, 2-1. Actually, who scored in that game for the Uzbeks? Igor Sergeyev. And the Netherlands only won that game. I'm telling you guys, Uzbekistan are a sneaky in this World Cup. Netherlands only won that game in the 98th minute through a penalty. Cody Gag, they scored 2 penalties. Oh, Igor Sergeyev scored a goal in the 92nd minute too. Peru. Oh, this game just turned on its head. He's just missed the shot there for Peru. It's going to be I think it's a corner. They nearly pulled one back here, the Peruvians. Since they went 2-0 down, they've actually been a lot more free-flowing with the ball. Oh, that's great defense from America Laporte. America Laporte with great defense. I've seen that many times before. That's not that good anymore. They're not unreal, but I'm telling you, Uzbekistan actually do have a pretty good team. I do love Kushanov. He had a really tough game against Chelsea in his first matchup, but outside of that, he killed it for City. Peru! Just off target. PJ says must be from Northern Ireland. Yeah, I mean, I've never really seen the Irish really fully get behind the English before. Didn't choose the Raiders, they chose me. Look, fair enough. I do love that, Harrison. Do love that, but you are a Muppet. You are a Muppet. So yeah, Brenton, look, Colombia are a decent enough team to watch. I'm sure you wouldn't know anyone who's playing for them. But if you join, this is what I'm telling you, join the Breakout Sport FIFA World Cup Fantasy. It'll get you to watch the football this year, and you'll understand a lot more about the players. And I promise you, get Arias. I think Arias will be very good for Colombia. Yeah, the Raiders were kept scoreless. 26-0 loss, Mr. Pomless, yes. So corner here for Peru. 40 minutes gone here, guys. In the first half, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. 40 minutes gone. And Peru header it straight to the keeper. John says, calm down, boys. I didn't say I like England. I said that I think they will win it. I do hate them also. Well, I'm feeling like PJ doesn't like England. Feeling like PJ doesn't like England. Fair enough. I'm always in such a tussle because I've got ancestry with England and family England and all that, but I'm Australian, so like we're deep rooted in hatred for sport with England. I love England, but in sport, you obviously don't like England. But again, I would also like to see them go and win it because it'd be so good for the game of football. But the memes are too funny, bro. The memes are just too funny, especially with the "It's Coming Home." It doesn't make sense to sing "It's Coming Home" in European football. It makes sense to sing it in World Cup because you won in 1966. But that makes sense in Euros because you never won that. I won Spain or Argentina. Fair enough. Brandon says, I want to get into it, but the time games are on are pretty early for me. What are you watching the games on now? Are they? Well, I watched on VIP box because I'm in Vietnam, so it's the only way I can really watch it. Oh, here's a chance. Kukurea. No, keeper. Keeper gets up to it. Games are on pretty early for you. The earliest games will really start at about 3 a.m., but they go through all the way till 2 p.m. Like, for example, Australia versus Turkey on Saturday plays at... on Sunday, Australia versus Turkey. Australia vs. Turkey plays at, I think, 11 a.m. my time. So like 2 p.m. your time. That'll be 2 p.m. your time. Oh, they put the ball over the top. That would have been offside. We're approaching half-time, though. Spain, France, Germany. Was Sam Burgess a problem in the NRL? Sam Burgess is one of the greatest players in the NRL all time. If you had to pick 3 teams to win it, who would you pick if you had to put life savings on it? Spain, France, and damn, who would be the third team? Who would be the third team that I would look towards? You've got your chance here, Ferran Torres got taken down. That's going to be straight to the keeper. Ferran Torres was probably fouled there, but they didn't call it. Like, you think in England, I do think that Brazil aren't going to be completely all there. I do really like the team that Morocco had, but I just don't think they're going to go all the way. Argentina are there. Australia obviously don't lose a game ever again. Who do I choose for a third team? Portugal. Germany. I don't think Germans have it this year. I think I would have to say... Oh, chance here, Peru. No, that's going to be a corner. Good challenge there from Kukurea, who's had a pretty good game here today, Kukurea. I think I might go with... Portugal. I think I might. Peter says, I think Spain's playing style might help them in the climate. Well, the climate's not that hot. In Mexico, sure. Spain have a very, very good team. Especially if Lamine Yamal is okay after his hamstring scare at the back end of the year for Barcelona. And they'll be corner whipped in. They'll be headed up there by Spain, and the keeper will get it. Aspect says Portugal smoky. Really, it's not a. They're not. I wouldn't class them as a smoky. They have a chance to win it. They've got a good team. 2 minutes added on here. To me, a good story. Ronaldo to win the World Cup. That would just send the world into a meltdown. If Argentina and Messi won the last World Cup and then Portugal and Ronaldo won the next World Cup, can you imagine how nuts the Ronaldo fans would be? It would just be nuts. Jared says Titans win the World Cup in Kenny we trust, 100%. Chuck says Spain will have the ball. The other side will be doing all the chasing. What I've found interesting in these international friendlies is that they haven't really dominated the ball as much as you would like. So against Egypt, they had a 63% possession, which was solid, very solid. Against Iraq, it was 53%, so it was very, very close. I wonder what it's like in this game right now. It would probably be about the 60% mark, I would probably suggest. Spain with the ball at the halfway point. Peru have definitely gotten a bit more possession back into the game. I want to see the stats here. FIFA doesn't give you these like halftime stats like other sports do. Hold on. Spain football. I want to see how much possession they've had. So the possession is 77. No, that says Peru 77%. No, this is wrong on Google. It must be like 77% for Kukurea with a chance. That's going to be whacked away. I'll go over the sideline. 30 seconds to go here about a time. On Google, it says Peru have had 77% possession. That is absolutely incorrect. John says if they start Ronaldo, they won't get far. He needs to be someone they bring on late and he won't like that. Yeah, don't disagree with that. Those times aren't too late, then I just seen that your streams were on early in the morning the last couple of days, and I just presumed. Well, that was 8 a.m. I was live for the first game, Australia-Switzerland, for you, 8 a.m. And then yesterday I was live at, I think, 9 a.m. for you, for Jordan, Colombia. But there's the halftime whistle, folks. It is 45 minutes gone, and Spain lead 2-0 in this one at the moment. It's been pretty convincing for them, but Peru have had a couple of chances late on in the game there, late on in the first half, that they were getting some solid enough opportunities in. They were getting some solid enough opportunities, but at the end of the day, Spain have just been simply in control here, and they are doing the better. Oyarzabal with the first goal in the second minute of the game, and Pedri with the goal in the 32nd minute. But hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. The Spanish have had 4 shots for 2 on target, where they've scored those goals. Peru have had 5 shots for 1 on target, but they obviously have not scored yet. So it's interesting that they're being outshot by Peru right now, but that's because they're playing a lot more free since they went down 2-0. And the shots on target that speak for themselves, Spain have been very clinical with their opportunities. And then the possession, it says here 77% possession to Peru. That is absolutely not that's not correct. That is just simply not correct. I need to find somewhere that gives me a legitimate possession count, because there's no way that that is correct. All right, so yeah, okay, so Spain with 65% possession and Peru with 35% possession. So this is a lot more Spanish to me. This is a lot more, but again, Peru aren't exactly a brilliant team at the moment in world football. So 65% to 35% here. Hold on, let me just interact with this so you can see both these players' names who have scored goals. Hold on. Okay. Like that? Oh, no, I can't do it. Hold on one second here. I know what to do. I'm just going to fix this. We are still getting used to these football streams. I'm just making sure how to do this. Let's do that. Oh, not rename. Let's interact with that. Open that. Okay, sweet. So that's working now. And then I put back the filter. Bang. There we go. So then you can see both the names of the goal scorers. Make it a little bit smaller so it's easier to read. And there we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Brenton says, have you had a chance to see the Origin team list yet? No. Oh, yes, I have. I do know about the Origin team list, but we won't speak too heavily about that. We've got plenty of rugby league that obviously we can talk about that on. But yeah, no, I have seen that, and interesting that Ethan Strange has been dropped to the bench. How's the Belgium side looking post Lukaku, De Bruyne, Hazard? Well, De Bruyne is still there, and Lukaku is still there. They're both still in the team. But Belgium don't look spectacular. Like if you look at the FIFA World rankings, let's go have a look at the rankings, see where they are, because usually they're at first, but not anymore. Coming into World Cups, they're usually around first. But I'm just opening it up now. So Argentina, Spain, France, England, Portugal, Brazil, Morocco, Netherlands, Belgium are 9th. They are no longer world beaters. Kevin De Bruyne is still unbelievable. Belgium are currently in 9th. They've won 4 out of their last 5 games, and their last win was against Tunisia, 5-0. Their last win was against Tunisia, 5-0. So that's pretty good, even though Tunisia is not an unbelievable team. Morocco are 7th. I really do like a bit of Morocco. I think Morocco-Brazil is such a hard match to read in that group stage. France have dropped from 1st to 3rd, and Argentina have jumped from 2nd to 1st, with Spain going to 2nd. There. Guys, give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. I'll be back in just a moment. I've just got to deal with something. Sorry, guys, we had housekeeping come by, so we had to make sure it came back a little bit later. Ooh, that's just been knocked down a little bit. All right, yeah, no, so it's half time, but in regards to Belgium, yeah, look, they're ninth. They're not as good as they were at one stage. Actually, what is their predicted team lineup? Belgium predicted lineup World Cup. So Belgium, Courtois, Thomas Meunier, Zeno de Bast, Arthur Thiat, Timothy Castagne, Yuri Tillemans, Amadou Onana, Jeremy Doku, Kevin De Bruyne, Leandro Trossard, and Charles de Ketelaere. Former stalwarts like Jan Vertonghen and Yannick Carrasco have retired, whilst Walter Faise and Lois Openda did not make the final 26-man squad. Yeah, De Bruyne plays it for Napoli now. Napoli. Wait, so is Lukaku not here? Did they not select Lukaku because of how bad he was for Napoli this year? He had a rough year. Where is it? I'm trying to get this up here. Turkey, Germany. Where is Belgium? Why is it not showing me Belgium right now? Belgium, okay. Oh, no, so they do predict Lukaku. They've got Doku, Lukaku, Trossard, KDB, Tielemans, Onana, De Winter, De Kuyper, Thiat, Meunier, and Courtois. Note that Doku and Trossard are classed as midfielders. Centre-backs could be rotated. Well, it's interesting that they say that. But yet when you look at a prediction, it's got... And they're in a great group. Like Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand is a really, really good group for Belgium, man. That is a really, really good group for Belgium. They should be cleaning through that group. They should be absolutely wiping the floor with that group. Belgium, they should be slaughtering that. That should be way too easy for them. Maybe I should pick up maybe I'm thinking Kevin De Bruyne for my fantasy team now. I got Fernandez, Alice, and Arias. Who would I... Oh, maybe I have to go with a 3-4-3 formation on my fantasy. Hakimi, Montez, Raum, Mojica. I don't think South Africa score against Mexico. So that's why I want to keep Montez there. I don't think Curaçao scores against Germany, so I want to keep Raum there. Mojica for Colombia against Uzbekistan. Like, I do have Vinicius Jr., but I'm not actually using him. I've got him on my bench here. And again, I don't like it against Morocco. I'm going to see, how much is De Bruyne? Transfer out. How much is Kevin De Bruyne? So he's not 10 mil, which is a good start. I think Bellingham is an absolute trap. De Bruyne is 7.5 mil. If I get De Bruyne, that means I still have $2.9 million in the budget as well to expand my team elsewhere. But I'm pretty happy with my team. Even though I've got $2.9 million in the budget regardless. Yeah, I'm putting De Bruyne in, man. I'm putting De Bruyne in. I need to do it. Sub in for... I think Uzbekistan could score, so I'll sub him in for Mojica. Yeah, so my team now would be Neuer, Hakimi, Montez, Raum, Olise, Bruno Fernandes, Arias, De Bruyne, Kane, Jimenez, Havertz. Happy with that. The thing is that I've got Neuer and David Raya as well. I've got both these guys. You can only play one of them. I think Germany, because Raya takes on Cabo Verde in the first game. Neuer, it takes on Curaçao. Plus, I've got my 12th man of Haaland against Iraq. That's a tough pick there. I think either way, you probably win out with that one. And I've just got Junta Ito on the bench just in case he does absolutely explode against the Netherlands. As this has gone, mate. Pretty good, man. Just watching a pretty clean Spain performance at the moment. A pretty clean Spanish performance in that first half. They We're just simply the better team and just rolled through them. They just rolled through them. But with that being said, Peru did get a couple of good opportunities at goal. They just couldn't be clinical with it. They've actually had more shots than the Spanish in this game so far. But they just haven't been able to be as clinical in this game just at the moment. Harrison said we'll be out in the quarters, maybe semis probably. Well, semis is where you usually get to. Chuck, so a lot of people say I look like Jose Aldo. A few people say I look like Edson Barbosa. Really random comment, but thank you for letting us know that. Extremely random comment, but thank you for letting us know that. I want to continue to look a little bit here. I want to continue to look. Oh, I need to confirm my trade. Hold on. A few people say you don't. Yeah, look, that's true too, Edson. That is true too. I just think Saka is priced too much at 9.5. Like, what's Saka done recently to show a 9.5? Mohamed Salah price at 10 million is sure, but Egypt shouldn't do amazing things here. Ronaldo, I don't know about his minutes. He's at 10. Lamine Yamal's coming in at 10, but he's also... if it wasn't for his injury, his hamstring injury, I'd get him. Dembele for France at 10. That's fine. Vinicius Jr., I just don't really rate Brazil a whole heap of an amount in this tournament. Messi at 10. I think that Julian Alvarez is probably the guy. It's either Alvarez or Martinez who you go in that Argentinian attack. I think Messi, I may have limited minutes in that first game as well against Algeria. But Alvarez and Lautaro Martinez are the two guys that I'd be probably looking at there. And I'd probably also be looking towards Alvarez. Haaland at 10.5. But that doesn't really matter to me because I've used him as my 12th man. And Mbappe at 10.5 makes a whole heap of sense. Senegal, I probably wouldn't have him for the first game, though. In the second game, you'd want Mbappe because he has an easier group once he gets through Senegal. Are you going to get in for fancy? So I was going to do that, man, but I like the three strikers I've got right now in Jimenez from Mexico, Havertz from Germany, and Harry Kane. I think you have to go with Harry Kane. You just do. They've got Croatia in the first game, but then after that, it gets a lot easier in Panama and Ghana, and he's obviously the penalty taker. The thing as well with one of the defenders, I think it was... there was someone in the defense, Hakimi, that's right. Hakimi takes penalties and is the defender for the Moroccans. So I just think that's too much to go past. You have to go with Achraf Hakimi. Yeah. So Eden Kunda is a great shout, but he is a forward. You can only have the three forwards, and that's why I've gone with Kane, Jimenez, and Havertz, because I think Mexico could go far with the atmosphere in America, in Mexico. 7 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the NBA Finals. If you care, Spurs up 5. I fire up. I want the Spurs to win to make it a good finals. I want them to get it done because they've been pumped so far. They're up by 7 now with 7 minutes to go. Because they lost their first 2 games and now they have to win this. They're not coming back from 3-0 down, and now it's 102-97. They're not coming back from 3-0 down. They definitely could come back from 2-0, but they're not coming back from 3-0 down. Who are you going in the forwards, Edson? Have you gone with Eden Kunda, or... Like, you could convince me, but I think Mexico could do well. You could convince me. And I guess Havertz isn't as much of a guarantee as you would necessarily like. Musiala there for Germany. Havertz. And there's also a German that could take some minutes there and could make a little bit spicy for his minutes. You got Florian Wirtz, where's it? Voltemade. Dennis Undav, that's right. Got to watch Dennis Undav potentially taking minutes from Kai Havertz as well. Still wait for the second half here. I haven't done a team yet. I'll do it now. You may as well do it now. Again, this is just an international friendly, so there's not too much riding on the line here, and you can listen in, but also do your team up because we're still waiting for the second half as well. But yeah, I've gone with my lineup is a 3-4-3. That's probably the best way to do it because, especially with football being so high scoring, nowadays, and this is with sport overall, all over the world. It's all about scoring. It's all about creating that entertainment and being fast paced. So that's why defense, I don't mind going with 3 at the back there. And Germany are just a no-brainer in regards to their matchups. You probably should just go slap in a whole heap of midfielders, though. You streaming the World Cup opener? Yeah, I'll be live for the World Cup opener, plus also South Korea versus Czechia. Yeah, Friday we've got South Africa versus Mexico, then Czechia, South Korea, and then we're into the Dolphins versus the Roosters as well. It's actually really good. The World Cup this weekend starts at the same time we've got a shortened round for the NRL, so it's even better. How do you change your formation? You just sub in. So, for example, if you've got a player on the bench who's a midfielder and you can't go less than 3 in the defense, but if you want to get rid of, say you've got 4 in the defense, 4 and you've got playing a 4-4-2, 4 defense, 4 midfield, and then 2 on the striker. Obviously, then with your keeper in the back. But if you go with that, all you do is you sub out your defender for the midfielder, and then that will turn it into a 3-5-2. A 3-4, 3-5-2. But I've gone with 3-4-3. As we said, love these times, man. No more 2 a.m. starts. There are still a couple. We're still waiting for the second half to start here, guys. There are still some early games, but more so like 5 a.m. for you. I think the earliest is like a 3 a.m. So, 2 a.m. is 5 a.m. for you. That's the earliest I can see so far. 11 a.m. for me, Turkey, Australia is amazing because that means for you guys that's at 2 p.m. Yeah, Germany, Curacao. That's at midnight my time, which will be 3 a.m. your time. Netherlands, Japan, 3 a.m. my time, so that'll be 6 a.m. your time. So there is still some early games, but not like Europeans. So David Raya is going to come on in for the second half. They do substitute keepers, and David Raya will come out for the second half. We have started here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. David Raya is on. Main games especially, though, and Aussie games are good. Aussie games are fantastic, but if you notice, the time zones for all the games have been aligned with nations because like the England games are all on at a pretty good time for England. The European games are all predominantly early, whilst the Australian games and the New Zealand games have all been predominantly put on around really good times for the Pacific. Same thing as well with Japan. Oh no, Japan's an awful time slot, sorry. Japan, Netherlands at 3 a.m. They're like 2 hours in front of me here in Vietnam, so that'd be like, 5 a.m. Still not a great time for them. But the Australian, New Zealand games are all on a really good time. New Zealand, 8 a.m. for me, which is 5 hours later. New Zealand, so that'd be 1 a.m. 1 p.m., sorry. 1 p.m. for New Zealand, Iran, for the Kiwis. Again, Australia versus Turkey. 11 a.m. That's amazing. That's 2 p.m. Well, chance here, Ferran Torres, and that will go over for a corner. Good block there from the Peruvian defense. Ferran Torres has been really good here today. He's been really, really good. France Senegal's at a perfect time for the French. What about the other Australian games? Australia USA, that's not at a good time. That's at 5 a.m. for you guys. Australia USA will be at 5 a.m. East Coast. New Zealand, Egypt, again, another great time slot of 1 p.m. And then Australia in their final game against Paraguay, great time, midday, 12 p.m. All right, so that's going to be cleared away there from Sonnet, and Spain will get the throw in at the halfway point. But yeah, a lot better than what we usually see with Europe, where every single game is at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Some of the games, the latest games, would be at like 5 a.m. But you will see absolutely packed out crowds at Fed Square in Melbourne, and you'll see packed out crowds everywhere. It's going to be nuts because the crowds you saw in the previous World Cups were at ridiculous time slots. Now you're seeing games at midday and 2 p.m. That's an unbelievable time slot. It's going to be way more nuts than what it has previously been. Spain here. Here's a chance. Oh, it's been put in, but it's going to be a corner. It's going to be a corner for Spain, so they're putting in some big-time opportunities to start this second half off. Good start. So Mikel Oyarzabal came out. He was subbed for Jeremy Pino. Jeremy Pino. He won the Conference League with Crystal Palace, Jeremy Pino. Unai Simon goes out for David Raya, obviously. Fresh off losing the final, in the Champions League final to us with Arsenal. To Paris Saint-Germain. Short. And then Arsenal float it, but it will... Arsenal. The Spanish float it, and it will be a goal kick. Goal kick. There is smoke in New York City already. Oh my gosh, they actually burned that city down. 108 to 100. I think Spurs might come through in that game. If Spurs lose it from here, they've lost the series. They've 100% lost it. Surely the Spurs win it from here. Heard Gabriel is on pens for Brazil. You get him on. Gabriel, definitely the penalty taker for Brazil. I do actually have him in my fantasy team, but I'm just not playing him against Morocco. All right, Peru with the ball at the halfway. Just moving the ball around. Nice ball movement here. And that's going to be pushed out to the left wing. And good defense. Peru have not been horrific. It's just that Spain have just been too good with those 2 goals. And that's going to go over the sideline. They've had more shots. Aymeric Laporte comes off for Eric Garcia. He was really good this year, Eric Garcia. Really good. Who's Spain's main player? Dani Olmo comes in, by the way. It would typically be Lamine Yamal, but he has some injury concerns right now with a hamstring complaint at the back end of the Barcelona season. Oyarzabal, who scored a goal in this game, he's the guy you've definitely got to watch for in this World Cup, and he's their striker. He is going to... he should be their main man in front of goal that really should be just smashing in goals left, right, and centre. Who else would we be looking at? Obviously, David Raya is going to be very impressive in that goalkeeper. So 50 minutes gone here in the first of the game, guys. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. 40 minutes left. Who else would be looking at? Oh, Peru with a big header in the box, but it will go well over the bar. Another big chance there, though. Another big old chance. Oh, no. Oh, no. I've got a Tigers fan right now who's... we're in a group chat. My 2 Titans fans and a Tigers fan. It's just the battle of the dribblers, really. But we just always insult each other. And obviously the Tigers lost 68-0 on the weekend, so... He's copping it right now, and he's defending himself for his life from the other man. PJ says Spain have 3 really good goalkeepers. They do. Yeah, they do. Spain's defense, like they've given up a couple of goals of late in games. Like they do concede 2 quite regularly, but also then they go and have games where they just don't concede anything. It's like either 2 or nothing with the Spanish. It was 1-1 with Iraq though. Aspect says Yamal being that good at 18 is insane. Is insane too. Young to see Messi and Ronaldo at that age. Would you say he's better than both of them at 18 or no way? I don't like comparisons. I don't do comparisons because I feel like a player needs to... They need to ride out their own life. They need to ride out their own career. I hate hearing people always going, here's the next Hazard. Here's the next Maradona. Here's the next Pele. Here's the next Messi. I hate hearing that kind of stuff because they just need to grind out their own career. And I will say that there are players that are going to have better beginnings to careers that aren't going to continue on for the entire history for their entire career. And Lamine is a fantastic player, but I will reserve my judgment in regards to whether he's had a better start or whatnot to other players, because I just feel like I need to see him continue to play at this elite level for a few years, for many years. I don't think that's unfair to do as well, because it just puts too much hype on this next guy. And it's like, no, well, here we go. Spain steal the ball inside the box, whip it across, Pino. That's going for a goal. An own goal. An own goal here from the Peruvian keeper. Oh boy. Galese gives up an own goal, and it is 3-0 to the Spanish. 3-0 to the Spanish. Also, I will be honest as well, aspects. I don't watch a great deal of the La Liga. If you guys really like the football content here on the channel, I will watch a lot more of the La Liga. We're going to be doing a lot of the Premier League and whatnot. And yeah, definitely an own goal. That was not going anywhere near the goal. That was being crossed in, and the keeper's hit that into his own net. Yeah, I don't watch enough of the La Liga to really have a strong opinion, but he has been spectacular in the early part of his career. And 18 is ridiculous. But 3-0. He's a very experienced goalkeeper too, Galese. But that's a bad one from Pedro. That is a very, very bad one. Because that was being crossed in. It was nowhere close to being on target. And he's knocked it in himself. That's what the Prem. Like, the Premier League, the Champions League, I do watch very occasionally some German Bundesliga. I also watch very occasionally the La Liga and Liga, and also the Serie A. Here they go again, Spain. Here they go again. They're just dominating now. They are just dominating now. And Peru get the ball back, but the Spanish are really turning up the heat in this game. Obviously, I watch plenty of Champions League. Oh, here we go. Peru. Here's an opportunity for him. No, the ball was taken out of the grasp of a fantastic run from the right winger. At least they've still got the ball movement here. And that's going to be a corner. Corner coming up for the Peruvians. Get ahead on it. Get ahead on it. Spain-Uruguay game of the group stage. What? Spain-Uruguay? Out of every game, you think that's the game of the group stage? What do you think of the pitches for this World Cup? Like, what do you want me... What are you asking me, really? Like, what do I think of the pitches? Like, I think they're going to be fine. They're not going to be the same European, but this is what happens. Like, what are you specifically asking? And Peru will head that back in. It's going to go straight back to David Raya. England, Croatia. I want to get more understanding of Spain, Uruguay. Why do you think Spain, Uruguay is going to be the game of the group stage? England, Croatia should be a good game. But Croatia is getting a bit older now. Group stage games. Brazil, Morocco. Massive. Brazil, Morocco. Japan, Netherlands will be very good. Ferran Torres with a good opportunity. And here comes Spain. They whip this ball across. Here should be a goal in my... Oh, no, the keeper comes out. Good work by Galese. Japan, Netherlands is super underrated in regards to being a rip snort of a game. France, Norway will be fun to watch, but France should win that. But Udegaard and Erling Haaland and whatnot, they'll be fun to watch. Portugal, Colombia could be good. And England, Croatia, yeah. All right, well, 3-0 Spain. 56 minutes gone here. They'll get this ball back. What I don't like is that, to answer a kind of separate question to what you've asked here, PJ, what I don't like is that the final has like a massive halftime entertainment show like the Super Bowl. And I just don't think it was needed. I don't think it is needed, but it's very Americanized. This World Cup is very Americanized for obvious reasons regarding advertisements and all that kind of jazz and hydration breaks, which we're about to go into another one in a moment now. Oh, Dani Olmo puts this ball out to the wing. Pino, Olmo, nice footwork. Pino, and it'll go over the sideline. It's apparently like a 15-20 minute halftime show. And 5 minutes on either side. So that means that halftime will go for like 25 minutes. I just think it's just so Americanized and it just wasn't needed, but of course it's going to happen. Of course it is. So PJ, are you from Australia or are you from over there in Spain? Because I noticed you said before that you're a Spanish fan. And the Spanish put this ball into the center. Dani Olmo, have a crack. It's going to be blocked away by the Peruvian defense. Dani Olmo again. He's been good since coming on. Chuck says, Messi was great at 18. Ronaldo was decent at 18. Yamal is closer to Messi than Ronaldo at 18. You're a Messi fan. I prefer Messi too, but I respect them both. Imagine your team losing 2-0 in a World Cup final and having to watch a concert. It's the equivalent of watching that Telstra ad. What an ad. What an absolute ad. Peter says, I was just asking about the quality of the pitches. I'm living in Barcelona. Yeah, fair enough. The quality of the pitches, I thought you were... I was thinking my head went straight towards like the weather conditions with the pitch and whether it's designed specifically for football kind of deal, comparatively to American football and all that kind of jazz. And obviously the stadiums in America, this is the thing, we're getting different pitches in America. It's going to be free kick, the Spain just outside the box. We're getting different pitches in America to what we'll see in Canada, to what we'll see in Mexico. The Mexican pitches will be very much catered to football. The American pitches are very much catered. I wonder if they've adjusted it, but they're very much catered to American football, obviously, and NFL. And Canadian, well, they've got college football, but I think they play a lot more football in America too. And I don't think we're playing out of too many MLS stadiums, are we? Because the Chicago Fire don't play out of Soldier Field, and I'm pretty certain we've got some games at Soldier Field in Chicago. They play out of SeatGeek Stadium. I've been there before. Or do they play Soldier Field now? I don't know a great deal about the MLS too much. Do they play out of MetLife for the New York teams? New York City and whatnot? I wouldn't assume so because they won't get the crowds to warrant it. I think they might have moved. Did they move to Soldier Field, the Chicago Fire, or are they still at SeatGeek? So big free kick here just outside the edge of the box for the Spanish, right in front. And, just a little bit wide there for Alex Baena. Alex Baena, super close, but Spain are going to make a whole bunch of substitutions now. I was a Liverpool fan in 2005 and saw them lose 3-0 at half-time. Very specific period of the game, that. 3-0 at half-time, eh? Is that how it ended, or did we see the 3-3 masterclass come back in that game? So Rodri is coming off. There's plenty of substitutions being made here by the Spanish. Literally 4 of them. Pedri is also replaced in this game. And Gavi comes on. 30 minutes to go here at the game. 60 minutes gone. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you are new around here. 30 minutes to go here at the game. And also Peru will make a couple of substitutions. What if John Terry scored that pen in 08? And Chuck said John Terry was too busy banging his teammate's wife. Lovely. Chuck, that's just a lovely little reminder for that one. Very good defender, though. Very, very good defender. Tough man. Banging his teammate's wife is crazy, though. Carrello. He will come on as well for the Peruvians. So I ask you guys, if I was... Hold on. If I was to stream the DR Congo versus Chile games tonight, would anybody here watch that? Would anyone watch if I streamed the DR Congo versus Chile? Because the only game that has a team in the World Cup that plays tonight. Again, tomorrow we do have Saudi Arabia, Senegal, and Argentina, Iceland. But would anybody actually stick up and watch? Because that'll be 1 a.m. for you guys in Australia. But in England, it'll be a great time. John says, Giggs banged his brother's wife. I think that's worse. That is pretty bad, bro. Yeah, that is definitely worse. Banging your brother's wife is definitely worse than... And again, they're both awful, just to clarify. But banging your brother's wife is definitely way worse than banging your teammate's wife. Again, with all due respect. And then, at least with Wayne Rooney, it wasn't anyone's wife, but it was an old woman. Seven says, pop in for a bit and hit snooze, to be honest. Yeah, fair enough. I'm really intrigued to see what the Congo are like because I've never watched Congolese football before. I'm so surprised that they're here at a World Cup, and I just really want to see what they play like. Now, Chile, I don't believe Chile made the World Cup. Yeah, Chile didn't make the World Cup. They finished last in their qualification group behind Peru, who finished in 9th. So they're not here at the World Cup. So I'm kind of just doing it because, honestly, we could get one person watching that stream. We could get 2 people. It just does not matter to me. I just genuinely want to see how Congo play. Johnson says, old woman means someone's grand. Go on, Wazza. What a man. Someone's grandma. Get around her. Oldies need some love too, mate. Why are we comparing banging wives? Well, that's the history of football, unfortunately, Aspects. If you want to know about the law of football, it's about whether it's banging a player's, a teammate's wife or a brother's wife or banging an old woman, an old prostitute, you know? Like, these are the things in life that... Oh, wow, that's a big ballsy pass there from Spain across their goal. This is the law of football, mate. You got to get used to it. So it was the same Chile that beat Argentina in 2 Copa America finals, yeah? Yeah, they came last. They came last. The Chile that made Messi retire from national team before he came back. Chile used to be very good, man. Marc Pobil came on. Oh, yeah, let's actually look at these substitutions. They made 4 substitutions, the Spanish. Peru putting on attack now. So we saw Martin Zubamendi come on for Rodri, Marc Pobil come on for Pau Kubasi, Mikel Moreno come on for Pedri, and Gavi come on for Alex Baena. And then for Peru, you saw Max Lauren Castro come on for Johnny Vidales, Alfonso Bacco come on for Eric Noriega, and Andre Corrillo coming on for Yoshima Yotun. My local time here, I'm in Vietnam right now, 10:30 a.m., man. 10:30 a.m. So I'm 3 hours behind you guys on the East Coast of Australia. Beautiful ball for Peru. Have a crack. Surely. Goal. Goal for Peru. It's 3-1. That's a nice goal. Look at this pass. This pass is beautiful. Heido Veyes. He will score the goal, and it's 3-1. That is a really nice goal here because the pass into the middle for Heido Veyes was brilliant. Look at this pass. They're all onside. How has he found him there? There is nothing you can really do about that. That's just a really, really clean goal there from the Peruvians. To be fair, Tamati Martin also had a scandal like that. Tamati Martin? Also not how you smell tamati. But... Tamati Martin had a scandal like that, did he? With his teammate's wife? Did he really? GTR says, the price of tickets, you're better off going to the strippers, still come out smiling and half the price. Well, if you're smart. Did you know that a train ticket for the final to get to MetLife Stadium from New York, because you can't walk from New York City to MetLife. This is going to be a Spain chance. They might score straight away. They will. Yep. Oh, they missed it. How has he missed that? Ferran Torres, he threw his leg at it. I can't believe that's missed. It should have been 4-1. By the way, did I predict 3-0 or 3-1? I think I might have predicted 3-1 here, didn't I? For Spain. Anyway, so the ticket to MetLife from New York, I believe, costs about $100 just for a train ticket, which takes like 20 minutes, something like that. Not too sure the actual logistics, but I'm pretty certain they've like raised the prices just for a train, ridiculous amount. And everyone keeps saying, I'm going to walk from New York to MetLife. And it's like, no, you ain't. No, you are not. Cape Verde licking their lips. But Cape Verde is going to get tickled when they play Spain. They're going to get absolutely tickled all up that pitch. But cooling break. It is a Hydration Nation break here. Hydration Nation. And it will be a stoppage for a little bit. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. It's so funny that in cooling breaks and hydration breaks that they just allow the clock to keep on continuing. It really is. Like if there was ever going to be a time for, I know football clock always rolls, but if there was ever going to be a time to stop it, it's for these ridiculous hydration breaks. What as that surfer chick when he was at Penrith? Surfer chick? I can't remember this, eh? I'm going to Google it. Tamati Martin scandal. The Tamati Martin scandal refers to salacious false rumors from 2017 that derailed his time at the Panthers. Vicious, unsubstantiated whispers claim Martin had an affair with a teammate's partner, leading to his agent alleging the New Zealand Warriors pulled out of signing him because of the gossip. The situation escalated to a point where former Panthers general manager Phil Gould publicly intervened. Gould issued a stern defense, dismissing the rumors as scurrilous and hurtful and confirming the playing group had gathered to show their full support for Martin. Despite the controversy, Martin was granted an early release from Penrith and joined the North Queensland Cowboys mid-season. Fair enough. So the Warriors went cold on it too. He's obviously there now, but that's brutal if that was all untrue. Oh, the Spurs did win by 4. They won 115 to 111. Dude, can you imagine? So what? I think the Spurs won. The Knicks won both their games in San Antonio. And then the Knicks get a home game and they lose. So you've paid $110,000 for like courtside seats there. And they lose. Can you imagine? The cheapest tickets to Madison Square Garden was dead set like $5,000. Can you believe that? So can you imagine paying for nosebleed tickets and $5,000 US and they lose after winning 2-0 in the first 2 games? 2-0. So 70 minutes gone here, folks. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. 70 minutes gone. 20 minutes to go of the game. It's still 3-1 to the Spanish. Marcos Llorente comes off. Pedro Porro comes on. Why are we bang wise? Don't forget Benzema. Look up Benzema blackmail. I do know about that. There's plenty of these situations. So Mark Cucurella, I didn't mind today. I thought he was pretty good. Comes off for Alejandro Grimaldo. $20 minutes left. Johnny Vidales goes out for Peru, and Maximiliano Castro comes on. That is not going to be a free kick. I thought that was going to be a free kick, but it will not be. Eric Noriega and Alfonso Bacco comes on. The report is interviewing Wemby. The height difference is funny as. What's Wemby, 7'5"? Yoshima Yotun comes out for Peru. Andre Correa goes on. Do you remember, Brenton, who the player was, the other player's wife that was suggested? Because Google didn't give me that answer just then. Because it said that everything was unsubstantiated. Carrillo, he's been around for a long time. 34 years old. Wemby's 7'5", yeah. I think Spain would like to end this off with a 4-1-er. I think 3-1 is a lot better than recent results. 3-2 would be disastrous for them considering they're up 3-0. But if they can finish off 4-1, they'd be pretty happy with how they finish it off. And here's a chance right now to make it 4-1. And good defense there from the Peruvians to hold him out on the wing. Good ball movement now. They whip that ball across, and that's going to come out for Peru, where they can counter. They can counter here. They can counter. Push it over the top. And that's going to go over the sideline for a Spain ball. So it was Sally Fitzgibbon. And I'll find out who the player was, yeah. Sally Fitzgibbon was married to an NRL player? Didn't even know. Did not even know. Spain with another attack. Danny Olmo has been really nice to watch since coming on. Olmo. Short. Back to Danny Olmo. Goes himself, and then it will be blocked away. But Spain will let the ball go over the sideline for a throw-in. Hey, it's still here for Peru. If they really want it, there is some great counter opportunities, and there is some good chances for them to still come back in this game. They score one more goal, they will take a 3-2 loss to Spain, especially being down 3-0. If they don't score, I still think they would take a 3-1er. But Spain have been pretty clean throughout. All right, so anyone who, whilst we've been live, has been doing their fantasy team, who have you decided to go in your fantasy team? Who have you decided to go in your fantasy team this year? Trent Merrin, okay. Yeah, I can't even remember that situation, eh? 2017, so it wasn't too long ago. 2017 was 9 years ago, actually. Damn, that's crazy to think. 2017 was 9 years ago. Getting close to 10 years ago. We are already halfway through the year, guys. We are nearly at New Year's. Oh, being nearly at New Year's is probably a bit rich, but we're already halfway through the year. It's crazy. Morgan Rogers. Yeah, Rogers could be a shout. He could be really good. I do like a bit of Morgan Rogers. McTominay. Yeah, of course you've got McTominay, John. You said that you were kind of getting around Scotland, weren't you? Oh, there was that good Scottish song they made before the last World Cup. Scott McTominay. A good song. Well, 9 years is crazy. Yeah, it is. 18th birthday on Origin 2. I'm an 08, baby. Stop talking to me, Aspects. Stop talking to me. That makes me sick. You make me sick. 18th birthday on Origin 2. I'm an 08, baby. The fact that people born in 2008 are now 18 years old is whipping my head really strongly. That's whipping my head really strongly there, son. 18 years old, you're born 2008. Gee whiz. I turned 18 in 2012. Yeah, because I'm a 94. Brenton, he turned 18 in like 1983. And Spain will steal this ball. Here's a chance. No, they bring it back to the defense just to get a bit more possession back in. I will be honest, though, it has been a surprise. Watching the way the Peru have played here today, again, it hasn't been unreal, but I am surprised that they came second last in their qualification. Because they have had some good chances. Maybe it's just because they weren't clinical enough when they were in those qualification. Here we go. Space for Spain, but it will be Pino giving the ball away. And Peru put it down. And it'll be thrown into Peru. Turn 18 and 09. So you're 91. You're 91. 14 minutes left here. Don't forget, guys, we will be live for DR Congo tonight. Democratic Republic of the Congo. We will be live for that one tonight as they take on Chile. And there is a slight chance that I stay... the next game wouldn't be until Saudi Arabia, Senegal. There's a slight chance I do that, but I'll definitely be here for Argentina versus Iceland in the morning. Club scene was great then. Oh, yeah. Geez, the music that was... Oh, chance here for Spain. No, there'll be a corner. That was worrying defense from Peru just then. Brenton is yeah, he's so old. My gosh, Brenton, you're so old. My goodness me. Unbelievable. 91. That's a whole whopping 3 years. My goodness me. 3 years older than me. You are just grandpa material, really, Brenton. Makes me sick, really. So, corner coming up for the Spanish. Oh, dude, that is baseball sounds at a football game. Don't do it. Don't do it. We got the baseball sounds happening in the football. Corner. Grimaldo. Straight to the keeper. I'm a 90s kid back when cigs were $2 a pack. I don't smoke, so I don't really know. I don't really know about prices of cigarettes and whatnot. I do know here in Vietnam you can get them for dead set, like 20 cents. But I don't smoke. Sorry about your pet dinosaur. Yeah, it would have been tough for him to see the old Velociraptor go extinct, Brenton. It would have been really, really tough for you to see Stegosaurus fall away in the history of mankind. And when that meteor hit, geez, it must have been really tough for you going into that bunker. But, you know, you survived through it. You should be very proud of yourself, Brenton. You should be very proud of yourself. To get through a meteor strike of that capacity that made the dinosaurs extinct, impressive stuff. So goalkeeper will get that. Impressive stuff. Basti Afriedi says 1 goal more. What, you need 4.5 goals, do you? Adam G says, praying the stays at 3-1. Most people have over 4.5, so hopefully Vegas made the call. Vegas loves a call, doesn't it? So it's funny that you've said that at the same time as Basira said that in regards to one goal more. Basira 1 goal more and then praying the stays at 3-1. I still think we might probably have one more goal in this, man, but I hope for your sake, maybe not. Right now, New Zealand, a pack of 26 is $38 New Zealand. Yikes. Spain, they go to the left-hand wing. I'm waiting for above 4.5. Yeah, no, I know, but see, what I'm saying is it's funny that you've come in with the under 4.5 the same time as Adam G has come in with the over 4.5. No, sorry. You're waiting for over. He's waiting for under. you guys commented at the exact same time. Here's a chance for Spain. Whip it across, and it will go over for a throw-in to the Peruvians. For Peru. Surely Julian Alvarez will start for the Argentinians tomorrow. So 10 minutes to go here of this game, folks. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. We'll be live tonight for DR Congo versus Chile and tomorrow for Argentina versus Iceland. The World Cup actually starts on Friday. Spain, thread it straight to Peru. I'm waiting for exactly 4.5. Well, look, you might be waiting for a while, John, to be honest with you. Like, if we're really honest, you might be waiting for... That's a free kick to Peru here at the halfway point. You might be waiting for a long time, and I mean forever, permanently, but forever is a long word. I don't know if I could ever say the word never or forever. Maybe at one point in the near future, we might evolve to a point that there are half a goal. Like, if the ball crosses the line by half, you get half a point, maybe, half a goal. Maybe that might be eventually in the future, but you're probably waiting a good couple thousand years for that to happen. Yes. Peru playing this ball around the back at the moment. It's funny, though, for the people who are gambling, I don't really gamble, but I have in the past. And these last 10 minutes are the most sickening for like an over 3.5 or an under 3.5. For you guys, over 4.5 and under 4.5. It's the most sickening 10 minutes. It really is. Hans says, hello, how are you? Mate, I'm going all right, man. We've had a pretty good game here today where the Spanish have come through. They've made a lot of substitutions. It's not been a full-strength team for them, but been pretty happy with the way Peru have played their football, even though Peru aren't at this World Cup. But Spain, they needed to get back into winning ways after 2 draws against Iraq and Egypt, 1-1 and 0-0, with Egypt having a red card. So it's been disappointing in their lead-up, but they needed to have a good, strong win here today. And they did. I feel today's my day. Look, I don't know if today's your day for the 4.5 goals exactly. Getting real close, though. You know what, John? I reckon you might be so close that you're only off by about a half. That's how close you'll be, John. You should be proud of that. Spain, down the left wing. When I gamble, I just slap a 5 or a 10 so I can still enjoy the game. That's the best way to do it, mate. You know, obviously... long-term, people start going down those bigger bets, which I've done before in the past. But you go down a bad path because you recognize pretty quickly that if you're doing it because you want to win money, it's just not going to happen. And you're going to bet with money that you can't afford to lose. But if you're just doing 5 and 10ers, like it's easy as, but it's also still leads down a path. And Spain will steal this ball. Nope, back to Peru. 8 minutes left here. Carrillo. If anything, I feel like the luckiest people this year are the ones that are going to be in Mexico. I think the best vibes, the best atmosphere, the best time in this World Cup will be the people that get to enjoy Mexico. Not necessarily, and I'm not having a crack at Canada here, and I'm not even having a crack at America. I just feel like the atmosphere in Mexico is going to be nuts. Going to be absolutely nuts. We've already seen the Aussies when we lost 1-0 to Mexico down there in the international friendly. We had the Aussies getting lifted up onto the shoulders of the Mexicans. They were dancing with music and partying and drinks just flowing and just having a good time. That's what World Cup is. That's what these sports are for, to have that sense of worldwide community. And that's going to be a corner here for Peru. Here's a chance for the Peruvians. 7 minutes to go here. Here's a chance. Just picked up Harry Kane and Mbappe fantasy. Well, listen, don't forget as well, though, if you want to try and save some of your money in fantasy, what you do is you can get like a, say for a Jimenez or an Eden Kunda or whatnot, and then you can put that money, you can keep that money for somebody else, and you can use your 12th man bonus. So there's a bonus where you can use a 12th man. There's only 11 players on the field, but you can use a 12th man. Peru, with the ball back in the box, he's offside here. Doesn't matter. We'll go straight to the keeper, David Raya. You can use a 12th man bonus. If you guys haven't joined the Fantasy League yet, pin comment, join the Fantasy League. Now, the vibes will be off in America. Canada and Mexico are both chill, but Mexico got the weather. Mexico's going to be unreal vibes, man. It's going to be unreal vibes. So that's why Edson, I've got Jimenez, Harry Kane, and Kai Havertz, and then also Erling Haaland, because Haaland he costs 10.5, plays for Norway, a little bit of a risk because they're not exactly a spectacular team, Norway, but also he's going to bang some goals in, so I can get Haaland as my 12th man bonus. I'm not spending the money on him. Spain here, they've through the line, but it will go across for a goal kick. If I were to sell one of them, who should I? Well, you don't need to sell one of them. Like, I've got, again, Harry Kane. I don't have Mbappe at all, even though I probably should. But I've gone Lisse instead in the midfield to really cover for France. But I've got Harry Kane, and then I've got Haaland as my 12th man bonus. I took $500 on over 3.5 goals and Spain to win, paying $12.46 return. I'll return 1,224. What's with the dot there? Why have you got that? Looks like $122.43, which I know that couldn't be. $1,220. Well, we get 10% of that GTR, so I look forward to that donation. They'll whip this ball across here. Peru with a chance. Put it in. Is that a handball? No, it's going to be waved off. We'll see VAR, but it will be waved off. There might have been a handball in the box just then. And there's a free kick to Spain, and that's going to be a yellow card here for the Peruvian. That's the first yellow card of the game. Renzo Garces will receive the yellow card. 5 minutes left here. 4 minutes left here. The possession so far, 62.1% for Spain, 37.9% for the Peruvians. 2 shots on goal, 7 attempts for both teams. There's only been 1 yellow card in the game, and it was just then. The goal scorers, for those who weren't here, Oyarzabal, Pedri, and an own goal from Pedro Garese for the 3 goals of Spain, and Jairo Velez with a very, very good goal for Peru, even though the game was all but done. Italy would have been popular in Canada, US. A lot of Italian descent folk there, never mind. Yeah, Italy would have been very popular, especially in America. The Italians, there's quite a few in New York and New Jersey and Chicago. I think even in Philadelphia. Massive. The Italians would have been huge to be there, yeah. Four minutes left here. I do another stream today. Tonight, yeah. But that'll be 1 a.m. for you. So tomorrow for you. The next stream that I'll be doing is at 10 p.m. my time, which is 1 a.m. your time, or 12:45 a.m. your time. I'll start 15 minutes prior for the Democratic Republic of Congo taking on Chile. And then tomorrow morning at this time, so 9, 10, 11, so 10:45 a.m. for you, I'll be live for Argentina versus Iceland. I may do the early game, which is 5:45 a.m. for me, which will be 6:45, 8:45 a.m. for you. And that is Senegal. Chance for Spain in the box. Dani Olmo. No, Peru clear it away. It was Saudi Arabia and Senegal, potentially. I do have quite a few Saudi Arabians here on the channel that probably would enjoy that. So that's the next 24 hours anyway. Peru still the pool. I actually don't think there's going to be another goal here. Vegas made the call, Adam G. Vegas made the call. Mateus Zagara comes on for Peru. Vegas made that call. It happens. But then again, in that Uzbekistan versus Netherlands game, oh no, just as I'm saying it, Spain right here. Oh, taken down to the box, but it's going to be fine over the sideline for a throw-in. The Uzbekistan game versus the Netherlands game this morning, it was 1-0 Netherlands into the 90th minute and it ended 2-1. Uzbekistan scored in the 92nd and then the Netherlands scored in the 98th. They scored both their goals with a penalty. Oh, straight through for Spain. Cleared away from Peru, though. One minute left. This will be up for the 1 a.m. one tonight. The 1 a.m. one tonight is a real serious, just like test game. Don't get like ultimately extremely excited for a game of that quality. Like the Congo, I've never ever watched a game of theirs before. They're in their first ever World Cup here. And Chile are not in the World Cup, and Chile finished last in their qualification processes. But the Congo are. I'm quite literally watching it just because I'm intrigued to see who plays the Congo, what they play like, and if they're any good. Because they beat... No, Haiti was the one that beat New Zealand 4-0. What is the Congo's recent record, actually? DR Congo. DR Congo football... So they're in the same group as Portugal, Colombia, and Uzbekistan. They lost to 1-0 to Algeria in the round of 16 of the African Cup of Nations. They beat Jamaica 1-0 in World Cup qualifiers. Beat Botswana 3-0. Drew Senegal 1-1. That's a pretty good result. 1-1 against Senegal is a pretty good result, if I'm completely honest with you. Senegal's a good team. Who was the last? They beat Nigeria on penalties in the World Cup qualifiers. 4-3. Beat Cameroon 1-0. Nigeria's not terrible. They lost 3-2 to Senegal in one of the qualifiers as well, but it's still pretty good if they're going to get 2. 3 minutes out of time here. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. 90 minutes gone. 3 minutes out of time. It's still 3-1 to Spain. They don't really play. They drew 1-1 with New Zealand back in 2023. They don't really play any really strong teams, though, besides your Senegal and your... Oh, they lost to 3-1 to Morocco in the African Nations Championship. Still not terrible, though. That was back last year. So the best teams I can see that they've played is Morocco, Senegal, maybe Algeria, but Algeria isn't anything special. Nigeria had a push to... Whilst Chile, how's their results been going? Again, finished 10th. Oh, Grimaldo. No, that's going to be a corner for Spain. Corner for Spain. Chile lost 2-1 to Portugal with both teams having a red card there. Beat Peru 2-1. Beat Russia 2-0. Beat Peru 2-1 again. 0-0 with Uruguay. Lost 3-0 to Brazil. Again, another 2 red cards in the Bolivia-Chile game where they lost 2-0. 2-0. Yeah, tonight's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out. I wouldn't put it... If Chile win that game and they're not in the World Cup, it'd be really insane. To see Chile not make the World Cup, come 10th in their qualifiers and still beat the team that is in the FIFA World Cup in the DR Congo. It's a big risk for these nations that are in the World Cup to play teams that aren't here. Because it can be embarrassing if you lose it. Which Chile could definitely do it. And they'll be over the sideline for a throw-in for Peru. Well, I think the under 4.5 bettors are going to be loving life tonight. They're going to be eating caviar tonight rather than the noodles of the overs. You got on the overs, you better start getting those 2-minute noodles prepared. There is 45 seconds left to go here. Back around the in goal, 30 seconds left. Playing at altitude too. I forgot about that. The significant altitude here in Mexico. And Spain will get this ball back. This is just going to wind its way down now for the final 20 seconds. Unless Spain want one last shot at it. 3-1's at least getting back to winning ways after a couple of draws. They'll take it. Oh, here's a chance right on the end of the game. Right on the end of the game for Spain. They whip this ball across to the keeper. That should be it. The referee should blow the whistle any moment now. He should blow it any moment now. Yeah, the Galese is just going to soak it down, and there's the full-time whistle. So the final score will be 3-1. The goal scorers will be Mikel Oyarzabal, Pedri, and Pedro Galese with an own goal. And then for Peru, Jairo Velez, he was the one who did score. Oh, I really need to use a different website for these scores because it does just really, it changes all the time. It gets really annoying. I have to keep moving it around so you can see everyone. But Jairo Velez will be the one to score for Peru. But there we go, guys. That's going to finish us up here for this day of World Cup. There'll be some games later on today, which is going to be... who is it today? So, yeah, later on today, we will have the DR Congo taking on Chile, and then also tomorrow we will have Argentina versus Iceland, and we'll keep updated with the Senegal game. We'll keep updated with the Senegal versus Saudi Arabia game, and also Iraq and Venezuela game tomorrow. We'll keep updated with that. I may be live for Saudi Arabia, Senegal, but you just have to be watching on. Astar Entertainment says, first time listening, really enjoyed it. Thank you very much. See you again. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're doing our best here as we're rocking and rolling for the international friendlies. We do a lot of rugby league here on the channel, so doing some football as well, and I love my football. I'm passionate about it, and I think this is the best time to slap it down. So, no, it's going to be a good time, and I appreciate you for tuning in. But all right, guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for new around here, and I'll see you for the next international friendly coming up later on tonight for us. Maybe tomorrow for you guys. All right, guys. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.